Green. You're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. People often ask me, Christopher, what is going to be the next Great War? What is it going to look like? Well, first off, the next Great War has already begun. World War III is here. Whether or not you want to believe it or not, or if you want to look at the facts, is completely up to you. But for those of you paying attention, you can clearly see that the wheels are already in motion, that there is a war at hand. Now, at central focus of this war is currency. This is very much a currency war, and this is what World War III is all about. It's about a declining dollar. It's about the insolvency of the U.S. federal debt. Hillary Clinton herself came out just about a few days ago, said that the rest of the world, her fear is that the rest of the world is going to start to de-Americanize. This is what China was telling her. This is what China is telling us. Now, of course they're going to de-Americanize. Of course the rest of the world has a self-interest to de-Americanize because we have an insolvent balance sheet. The United States of America is bankrupt. We're buying all of our debt. What we're playing with is funny money, and it's exactly why we're engaged in a cryptocurrency war. Is a byproduct of the inflationary collapse that we're dealing with. Now, keep in mind, a new world order in terms of introducing a new currency, a one world government, a one world currency, has their hand in the pie, has their hand in the cryptocurrency market, having invested millions and millions, if not billions of dollars in companies like Bitcoin. Now we're seeing a competing open marketplace. We're seeing even capitalism start to take root again in a country that really doesn't have capitalism anymore. The problem with Bitcoin is that it still isn't backed by anything. It's still a fiat currency. Gold doesn't back it. Silver doesn't back it. Palladium doesn't back it. Wheat doesn't back it. Corn doesn't back it. So the only thing that backs it really is the integrity of the infrastructure itself or the architecture that is the encryption. But still, just because something can be encrypted doesn't mean it can't be unencrypted. So what we have is very big forces, government forces. We have the power and the free market. We have super tech, which I like to call them, companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc., taking over the world, helping to develop these types of currencies. We have people like Peter Thiel, billionaires, founder of the PayPal mafia, has his hands in all kinds of investments, whether or not it's startup companies like Palantir that had a hand in the creation of Prism, the creation of what Edward Snowden broke to the American people as part of the massive grid system that is the surveillance state in America today. How this ends is with an inflationary collapse, and I think it's very likely what we're seeing now today. If you take a look at the stock market at 16,000 plus all-time highs, you take a look at commodities in general, you take a look at gold's resiliency compared to the market itself. I want you to imagine for a minute, imagine the stock market rises from 16,000 and let's say doubles in the next 12 months. Let's say it went to 30, 31,000. Would that be a good thing? Would that mean that we're in a recovery, or would that mean prices were so out of control that you couldn't buy bread, that you couldn't buy wheat, you couldn't buy milk, you couldn't buy coffee at the store, you couldn't buy goods and services? Now, we've seen inflationary collapses again, time and time again throughout history, and it's exactly what's happening here in the United States. So please be wary. Be wary of what's happening. Be wary of Bitcoin. Be skeptical of it. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. I'm not saying that digital currency isn't the future. I very much think it is the future, but I'd be a lot more confident in a digital currency backed by something. I mean, if we had gold coin, for example, or silver coin, or something actually backed by something tangible that had a worth to it, that'd be a lot more attractive, because what we have now with Bitcoin is we have in these other coins, Litecoin, which is the silver equivalent according to the cryptocurrency community, and barbecue coin, and all these other ridiculous named coins. What we have is a market that isn't even being used for its intended purpose. It's not being used for commerce. It's actually being hoarded by speculators that are holding on to Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies with the sole intention of thinking that prices are going to go higher, that by hoarding and stockpiling that they'll be able to sell the Bitcoin for a profit at a later date. A lot of these currencies, in my opinion, will go to zero. I can't predict which ones. We don't know which ones. And there will likely be one currency, one digital currency, or I would say probably arguably a few competing digital currencies that are actually able to sustain themselves for the long term. But until we actually find a price floor and the bottom falls out and we see these massive speculative prices in the cryptocurrency market today, until we get stability, the coins themselves, this digital currency backed by nothing, again, no real different than fiat currency, isn't even being traded for commerce. Looks much more like tulip mania 2.0, to take the words from Peter Schiff, who I think is also right on target regarding this cryptocurrency war. So World War III very much fought over currency, very much being fought over the dollar, very much being fought over a de-Americanized focus coming from the rest of the world. For their part, has every right and definitely has every intention of moving away from a U.S.-dominated economic system driven by oil. One of the primary reasons we've been engaged in these wars overseas for some time in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. So everything is changing, folks. Everything is changing. What it means is that you need to get out of the dollar itself. You need to diversify out of U.S. dollar-denominated assets. There's many ways that you can do this. You can really take a common-sense approach to a lot of this, whether or not it's buying precious metals, it's buying gold and silver, it's diversifying your investments, globally, diversifying your investments just out of dollar-denominated assets themselves. So please stay tuned. I'll have more breaking news and videos coming in the not-too-distant future. Get this video out everywhere. Share with your friends and family. Please, let them beware. Beware of what's ahead. Beware of a rising stock market. Beware of interest rates still at zero after 5 years of quantitative easing. Beware of massive stimulus. Beware of $1 trillion added to the balance sheet in 6 weeks post the government shutdown, where good portions of the rest of the world, and they know that this is coming, we're literally, legitimately questioning a government shutdown and a collapse of the dollar just a few weeks ago. That's how dire the situation is, folks. It's time to get your ducks in a row. It's time to prepare and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Hard hitting in your face. I'm Christopher Green. Get it out everywhere. Peace.